She here?
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Welcome, Mississippi Live Weather This Morning. Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. Current time is 7:31. Running 1 minute behind, unlike that Maggie McCauley that is on time. I'm always close-ish. And if close-ish is good enough for you, you've come to the right place this morning. We are a lot of ish, and especially when we start talking about snow-ish, which is probably not going to happen. But I know there's always the could it, would it, maybe. Yeah, we will probably have some flakes in the region, but more than that is probably pushing it, and none of that is today. We're 33 at 8 a.m. We're 51 degrees by around noontime today, 59 by 2 p.m., and 55 by 5 o'clock tonight. You can see milder this evening than we were for last night as we go through that first 12 there. West Point starting off with mostly clear skies, as pretty much far as the eye can see, with the exception of maybe a couple very thin clouds there at the horizon. Good morning to you all there in West Point. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day down there in Clay County, and thank you again so much for liking and subscribing to us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Again, I don't even hardly see those high clouds there up in the Aberdeen area at this point here. Dry and clear. 27 there in Monroe County at this time. Crenshaw back out in the Delta, closer to Tunica, about 28 degrees. You know, I did show a lower visibility in the Tunica area, but I mean, I don't see anything out of this. Looking back kind of in the westerly direction that would represent anything here. Certainly showing up with the mostly clear skies at this point and time for those locations there. So again, as we progress here through this evening, Lawpon family apparently doing very well in the background there. She won't wear a coat? Tell her the car doesn't move until she comes in here and explains it. Tell her, She doesn't, every day she doesn't wear a coat, she has to come in and be on TV, on the broadcast. Do your kids not want to wear coats when they go to school? You're not alone. Look at these temperatures. It's in the 20s. God forbid we wear a coat when the temperature's in the 20s. Low temperatures in the 20s right now across the region. And that airport delays, no issues there as we are clear as well. Yes, even when you're the meteorologist, you cannot convince your kid to wear a coat. God bless my wife for putting up with my children, especially on a day like today. Hey, no precipitation out there. We are clear. There are some showers back into Texas. This batch of moisture you see here, again, fairly light. You can see the overall curl that this has. Kind of spun up with that storm system there, kind of moving in. That's part of really kind of two parts of the more active shift toward the weather pattern. Hey, tell her she has to come here. If she's going to be loud enough to be on the air, she has to come over here. Have her come over here. You're making everybody wait. You better get over here now. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Your mom should not have to yell at you like that to get ready for school. Do you understand me? That is unacceptable. Okay? No. You need just put a light jacket over top of that. Okay? Now tell us a joke. Can you tell us a joke after you got in trouble?
I don't have one on there right now.
Is that the joke?
Or I could tell you a joke about a broken pencil.
Okay, tell me about a broken pencil.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Kind of like teaching your daughter to wear a jacket on television. What do I know about fashion? Anyway, let's pick things up from there. Satellite perspective shows us there's a chance for moisture eventually. And listen, if there's a day where maybe she can win this argument to a certain extent later, it's today, because we are milder, right? Some cloud cover moving in from the south and west. Work from home, they say. Some showers coming from that direction there. I promise I'll reset my brain during the commercial break. We're dry ahead of that. We're cool ahead of that. And much, much colder air behind that way up to the north of us. That next front has a lot of cold air. I want you to see how quickly kind of it's catching up to this front in advance. And you can see by 5 p.m. today, it's somewhere around 700 miles apart. But watch how quickly by, say, even 9 o'clock, I'll leave that up there so you can see the distance, it's 450 miles apart. So it's catching up in a big hurry because there's a ton of cold air. Cold air is very dense. It's going to move in here quickly. And that is what is going to get those temperatures dropping a lot more tomorrow. Luckily, our meteorologist Maggie McCauley is back tomorrow, so if I have to argue with my daughter about wearing a jacket, it won't be in front of you that time. She'll be here with a daughter that listens better because she's younger, and appreciate y'all for, again, staying with us here on Mississippi Live Weather and for supporting us here. Join the conversation. Let's see if I get attacked by everyone about that there, about, being a dad and going in the dad voice on that. Good morning to everybody. Some crackling coming through. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, maybe it's just the cracking up. My microphone looks like it's okay right now. Anyway, discipline with love. Trying to explain. Anyway, there are some showers out there we show, as you can see, for 10:30 tonight. Starting to get closer to us, kind of the first signs, a little bit of moisture. The main front will have more of that as we head toward tomorrow. Over the next 24 hours, we'll start off at around 40 degrees, as you can see, for this morning here. We're 55 by noon, 59 as we go toward 3 p.m., and then heading into the 40s, which is milder for tonight, before while we start milder tomorrow, it will probably never feel as warm as that 42 by, say, midday into the afternoon. It's going to be fairly cool feeling, and there will be quite a few showers around. I can make an argument for lighter variety stuff later this evening. Hey, I'll get my brain in order so that I can deal with all of the angst that you have related to snowfall chances, which are not good. Let's be clear here, they're not good. But we're going to dig into the not good because I know that's what actually interests you. Come up here in 60 seconds as Mississippi Live Weather continues here from the Room to Room Weather Center. Appreciate y'all. Just a reminder, present, not perfect when it comes to dad. And if you guys have those days as parents, it is okay as well. Sometimes that happens. But I'm just sitting here hearing rah, 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 yelling down the stairs. I felt like I couldn't ignore it. Anyway, 60 seconds. We will listen to whatever griping you have to say about snowfall right after this.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lobhon.
The cold air is coming this way. Yeah, we are cool. And thank you for joining us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Cool and temperature-wise, clearly not as father, as we have illustrated. But I'm on kind of lower resolution version of our temperature here, so I can show you this big burst of cold air up there in Canada. That is a huge part of the weather story coming forward. Cold air is dense, and that gets it flowing south very effectively. I'm going to make this a 24-hour loop, and as you can see, there's plenty of it up there, but just the last few hours, see how it starts right there? Watch this part right there, how that just starts like, whoop, starting to slide southward. That is our colder air making its way our direction now, and it is not warm. We'll look at these temperatures behind it, below zero. These are actual temperatures, by the way, which make our 20s that we have down here in the south look laughable, right? So this is our big front that's moving toward us. Now the coldest of that is going to kind of swoop down here and make it into the northeastern United States, but there's going to be plenty of that to go around. And there are two components you need when we start talking about wintry weather. You need the cold air and you need the moisture. And we do have moisture out there regionally speaking. I'll go back here and kind of show our frontal, what we call surface analysis here for a moment. This will be 12-hour surface analysis, and you can kind of see the different players here. Again, there's that front starting to slide southward. Any snowfall with that is going to head out there toward the east coast and be a non-factor as far as we are concerned. But we also have a little system down here toward the Gulf, toward Texas. Now, here's the deal. If this cold air was a day and a half faster, maybe not even that, maybe just a day faster, this system coming in would be pretty close to the right position to take that and produce snowfall, but they're out of phase. And so when you look at long-range forecasts, and so many of them are so bad, and almost everything that you're tempted to click share on when it comes to long-range forecasting on Facebook or any social media, if you're like, man, this looks like snow, I'm going to click share, more often than not, if it's more than 2 or 3 days out, it is clickbait that is wrong. And yeah, I understand why people put it out because it gets a lot of attention. But the reason it even looks like that on projections 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 days out is because it sees, hey, there's plenty of cold air. That'll be heading south. Hey, there's a system. That'll be heading the right direction. But a week and a half out, 2 weeks out, those things might look like they're going to line up, and then they come just a little bit out of phase, and you end up with what would have been, wow, snowfall being, oh, it's just cold. Or, oh, it was just light rain and then cold. So a little bit out of phase there, if that makes sense. So that's, on this wide shot here, kind of what we're up against. And that's how we're left, in advance of that with just kind of a nice, clear sort of day. More on the snow end of this here in just a moment. But as we kind of get you out the door, with 28 degrees out there in Blue Springs at this time. Can appreciate the Mississippi Department of Transportation for that camera shot there. Kosciuszko had a beautiful sunrise earlier on, and still now as the sun is up, showing that frost, especially in the shadows there, looking from the Breezy News Tower there back generally toward kind of a southwesterly sort of direction, I believe there. And in Smithville at this time, our camera location there in Monroe County, from 34 in Kosciuszko to only 29 in Smithville. So for those last few moments for you trying to make your negotiations with your children, if they haven't headed out the door, if you're having that last yelling match, yes, it is 30 for that pickup temperature for the school day forecast or first bell. 59 by the end of the day. This is our mildest day of the week, and appreciate IMPC for again sponsoring our school day forecast. I'm going to bring the chat on here as we now venture into the blah, blah, blah snowfall. All right? So let's talk snowfall here. So here is an example of snowfall totals over next week. We're going to lay it all out here, and you can see nothing through maybe Saturday. Okay, now hold on. I thought you said, no, I still say, this is a model, one run of a model, and even in its best case scenario, it's saying less than an inch, which, you know what's less than an inch? 0.999 inches. And you know what's less than an inch? 3 flakes. So we'll keep expectations in order because of that here. So let's look at when that could occur. Same model here. Again, not my favorite model when we start talking about this, but same model. And let's kind of talk timing here. So as you can see, again, this is a lower resolution projection. First things first. And hold on, I have this set to go way in the future. So instead, let's just make this go the next 168 hours, which would be basically the next week. Okay, and so first thing you'll see, again, here are some of those lighter variety showers there again on your Wednesday. As you can see, not terribly impressive as that moves through, and no wintry stuff with that. It shows any blue back to the north and east there. As we go into your Thursday, really cold. You go in your Friday, cold. Another disturbance coming during the day Friday, another front. And behind that here, watch how it kicks out just the littlest bit of that. Okay, couple big takeaways. Remember just a second ago it said less than an inch? Well, there's some blue, but what do we need to know? And we can go some basic science class here on this and why this has an issue, right? This, first off, go wide and show you that is so far removed from the center of this, the upper level system, which is all the way up here in the Great Lakes, that you can almost just completely throw it out because of that, right? But let's just say it's right, okay? Maybe we should just name this segment so you're telling me there's a chance. What do you see about these temperatures here depicted? We show 39 Tupelo, 46 in Starkville. I'll bet someone in the comments can tell me what temperatures does it have to be below freezing? Got to be 32, right? I don't see a 32 on the map at that time. So the time of day that this one projection is bringing in this one return, it is showing some snow up in the clouds. And this is what we talk about when we do school visits all the time. How many times does it snow a year? Oh, about 7 or 8. And the kids go, what? Okay, well, it doesn't actually accumulate 7 or 8 times a year, but snow probably falls from the sky at your location 6, 7, 8 times a year. And most of the time, it's eaten up by warm air or dry air before it gets to the surface. And so in this case, looking at Saturday, that's exactly what this is. This is snowflakes falling in primarily dry, but also warmer air. And so at 46, you're not going to get that to accumulate to anything there in Starkville. You're probably not even going to see the flakes at that. And if the 39 at 2 p.m. there on Saturday verifies, this is coming through at the perfect time of day for it to be a little bit to drizzle, maybe a rogue flake that you see, but accumulate to absolutely nothing. So that is kind of, again, it is cold on Saturday. I mean, 39 for an afternoon temperature, no one in here is going to say that's warm. Okay, good. The dog was chewing on something over there. I figure we're just going to lose on all fronts with all dependents today, apparently. But yeah, that's just not going to time out. I mean, we don't get the freezing until that shows by 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So listen, if timing were to shift dramatically on this, you might see a couple flakes. But the big takeaway, and this is probably the most important part about this, it's not just the fact that we're probably not going to see snow because it's not cold enough, which is a major issue. But we're probably not going to see snow because we're just so far removed from the center of this storm system. So that is that less than 1 inch chance that I showed you a minute ago as we kind of go throughout the remainder of the forecast. It stays cold without any wintry precipitation through Sunday. Let's stop on Monday for a second here. Monday again, starting pretty chilly down there in the low 30s and upper 20s. And then Tuesday, again, even colder air back behind that. Probably some teens out there for lows, maybe 20s again for early Tuesday morning. Again, one projection there. And let's just go even farther beyond that. Let's go back to, what is it? 384? I never remember exactly. Double check here. And this will take us deeper into the future. All right. And again, this is my least favorite forecast model, but we'll shoot it deeper in the future. And you can see some rain chances, late next week. Milder with that. Ooh, there's something getting closer. But this is the wrong angle for us. If we're going to see snow events, typically we would wait for one of these lows to come out of the Gulf of Mexico, right? And kind of come up that direction. It's probably not the angle that we're going to see it. And plus, as you can see, while it's showing all this wintry stuff up north, it's also showing 50-odd degree temperatures here. So there's a lot of things against this. The fact that things would melt when they hit the surface, the fact they might not fall from the sky to begin with, wrong angle, typically we need cold air in place. So all of that to say, I'm not saying we won't see snowfall the rest of this month. Whew! I haven't seen that yet. Hold on, let's go back, let's catch that. These are actual temperatures down low teen single digits there. Again, this is probably also not correct, as we're now looking January 25th and current time date is the 13th, so 12 days out. But more so to say, we do have plenty of cold air. And so if you're looking for is there a chance on snowfall, let's say this. Got a lot of bursts of cold air this month, and you need it cold enough. Look, another chance of something trying to happen. That one actually looks a little bit more promising, despite the fact it looks more like rain and everything on here. But you know, you're 2 odd weeks out. That will change dramatically over the next week or so. Later this month, though, that does get a little bit more interesting. I'll give you that. Okay, we'll click revert on that. And if you don't mind, we'll pick up the rest of the actual forecast as opposed to the wishcast from there. So again, in the comments, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. We'll try to address some of those here in a couple of moments. Actually, before we go too far there, let's kind of look at that. Watching from Tippah County. Appreciate y'all up there in Tippah County and everybody. Yay, no snow. Baby, no snow. Okay. Looks like that's a good sign there. Nikki, my humor is exhaustion sometimes. Yeah. Is it going to snow in Pontotoc? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see a flake. But we're really pushing it there. And by no means do we have much of an idea there. Still not seeing snow in North Mississippi. Christina Wells there. I'm going to need you to do better, Matt. Hashtag praying for snow. Listen, I'll call one in for you there. Doesn't mean that the guy upstairs listens to me any more than he listens to you. So, Tracy wants some snow. That's not really this forecast. But there's plenty of cold air there. And listen, we have enough cold air bursts this month that it's not impossible something lines up. There's just nothing reliable at this point here. No reliable projections. And any projection that claims a date, listen, it's the Allen Iverson way of shooting basketball. Allen Iverson was a great basketball player, but man, that guy shot a lot of shots. And if you shoot 50 shots a game, you could end up with a whole lot of points if just 50% of those go in. So you got to shoot your shot. And so when it comes to snow forecasting, models come out every minute of every day. Different models are coming out. And so I can always find one that has snowfall on it. So if I wanted to link you into thinking there was snowfall, I could post a different model showing snowfall every single minute of the day. And most of those will never be right. So you got to shoot your shot on that. But we try to choose our shots effectively so that we can get ones that actually are going to hit. And that's at least the angle we take here. So appreciate y'all for commenting, for liking, subscribing. Let's go ahead and go with the rest of the forecast here for a moment. And again, keeping it dry as we progress through today. Clear skies, calm winds. High temperatures are expected to be in the low 60s. I say calm winds. There will be some gusty winds from time to time, but nothing that's too terribly windy. 61 Grenada, or 61 in Bruce, as well as Houston. 60 degrees in Eupora. Coming about 60 there in Cleveland, and 61 in Grenada. Typically should be about 53 for this time of the year. Man, I'm at 54 after. That's how long I went down that rabbit hole. Apologize for that. We'll get through this here. This is the bigger story today. Front moving in from the north and west. Again, cooler air associated with this for tonight. And that means by tomorrow morning, while we are heading a little bit cooler, that front's not fully through. And so we are still dry. We're still ahead of the more meaningful moisture there. About 40 there in Water Valley, Bruce, 41 in Eupora, coming in 43 degrees in Louisville. This is warmer than it was this morning for tomorrow morning. But again, those showers and that front have temperatures dropping beyond that. Wind chill temperatures somewhere in the neighborhood of the upper 30s to low 40s. So here are those showers. Widespread showers here, as you can see, for early Wednesday morning. We show this 8 a.m. These are light. These are nuisance showers. They probably extend your commute because of just how they make the roads wet. And that then in turn makes it to where it's easier to get into a wreck, things of that nature. So we'll have these widespread showers there for Wednesday morning. Build in some extra time to kind of get going, get moving around, and doing that all early enough. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley does an amazing job here on Mississippi Live Weather on looking at Mama Justice Doppler radar, where any of those showers are out there. She'll be tracking that starting at 6:30, 7:30 a.m. all through the morning here on Mississippi Live Weather. Check her out for the very latest and any issues. Of course, the Mississippi Live Weather app will keep you ahead of those as well. As we bring it back in here to the Room to Room Weather Center, again, spotty showers here on your Wednesday and into Wednesday late afternoon. Maybe a rumble with this back out there toward Cleveland and Greenville. I'm just not terribly impressed with that potential as well. We did show one there near Louisville, and this is what got all that discussion started. Just the littlest bit of snowfall trying to show up on there, but I just don't think that's more than a couple of flakes near the Tennessee state line. We're 50, as you can see there in Booneville, 49 in Iuka and Red Bay, about 54 degrees Houston, Bruce, 54 there in Eupora. These high temperatures not that far removed, obviously, from the low temperatures in the morning. A little bit warmer, but a sign of, again, that cold air really spilling into the area as we progress throughout the day. And so that continues to come in by Wednesday night, and those winds out of a northerly direction here. That's what all of these lines like that represent. You can kind of see the winds aloft, still somewhat southerly, but the winds at the surface here out of the north and west, and keeping those temperatures dropping. We're going low temperatures down here to 23 Water Valley and Grenada, 24 Eupora and Houston, 25 degrees in Starkville, and about 23 for Red Bay and Hamilton, Alabama. Here's the kicker. Wind chill temperatures are not warm. 24 in Tupelo, 25 degrees in Amory, about 27 in Starkville, 26, excuse me. Man, I'm putting 20s in front of all this. I might be taking a nap today, if we're honest, if this is the way my brain's going to work. 12 degrees Thursday morning, Boonville, 14 in Tupelo. Luckily, my discussion with my daughter about fashion versus warmth will not be televised that day. It's going to be cold, obviously, early Thursday morning in the teens to low 20s out there to begin the day. Northwest winds, again, continue to be the issue because, again, that's what enhances the wind chill. And this is on the backside of this storm system that obviously that front by that point will have scraped all the moisture out of here and put it down there back into the Gulf of Mexico. And so that makes all of this air behind this, really dry. That is kind of the story behind this. Our air is dry, and because it's so dry, that's one of the reasons why we're just not talking about meaningful precipitation beyond this, because it has to, moisture falls in that dry air and largely sublimates, which is when it changes from a solid directly into a gas. And so we never see it. We never see meaningful moisture out of that as well. So dry weather story through your Thursday, through your Friday, and any chances for moisture we have beyond that are going to be challenged by this dry weather into this upcoming weekend forecast. So high temperatures on your Thursday, again, upper 30s, low 40s. In all cases, a bit below what we expect for this time of year. Typically should be about 53, and so obviously nowhere near those values. Low temperatures there by Friday morning, back in the 20s. Wind chills, not quite as cold, but regardless what the wind chill is, those temperatures below freezing. I keep pulling this thing out here. If you haven't checked out our friends at Absolute Cleaning and Restoration, they're giving these away. This is a faucet cover, not just like I don't know what it would be. But, it kind of slips over top of your faucet there. You kind of put it on the faucet, and I don't know if I can do this on air. Probably not. Put the rubber band around it like this, and it sort of holds it in place on there. So anyway, I think it's great that they're giving those away. I know that, we tend to have, those faucets, the pipes that break. This is one way to try to help prevent that for those outdoor faucets, outdoor spigots. Try to solve the problem before it starts. Again, they make their money off of helping fix problems after the fact and do roofing and do a lot of other things. But this is a way, again, they can help solve a problem before it starts. It's one of the things we like partnering with folks that are looking for solutions like that. And again, they're doing that, and that's why we're glad they've been one of our first partners here on Mississippi Live Weather. And then wind chill temperatures there. I meant to just click it as opposed to just do that, so it wouldn't go right past it. Teens, 20s there for early Friday morning for those wind chill temperatures, and a lot of even colder air ahead of that as we head into next week. So 7-day forecast here showing us a 52. Probably not feeling that warm, and that rain coverage around 30. Probably 40%. I probably underdid it. I probably need to adjust that up there. But 40% or so we'll say for your Wednesday. 39 degrees. That's all we manage for the high temperature there on your Thursday, and probably never even feels that warm. 20s for the lows early Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. That's right. The only time we change that, we're showing by Monday, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of the teens to low 20s. Now, you might have seen when I showed you that GFS, or sometimes the American model, another way we described it. It's a little bit warmer than that. We've got tons of cold air around. If we get the clear skies, that would kind of enhance those temperatures down a little bit more. We expect that forecast to be tweaked a little bit as we get somewhat closer there. But certainly it is pretty chilly going forward, which is why those faucet covers necessary all the way through, I think, the extended forecast there. Okay, so join the conversation. You can see on Facebook, YouTube there. It looks like most of our comments come from YouTube this morning. Appreciate y'all for watching us on there. Let's kind of see what we've got there. Below 30 is cold enough. I agree. Appreciate you with the humor comment up there, Nikki. as we mentioned the pond talk a minute ago there. No snow forecast, please. Have a great day. Hey, Judy, we've checked that one for sure. Hey, you were right to bring your daughter on. Family first. She probably won't forget that correction. You don't understand my daughter's ability to be resilient. She will probably, hopefully she does remember it. We'll see. But good morning, everyone. I appreciate you, Bentley, there for being with us here on Mississippi Live Weather. And thank you all for your support. Our next live broadcast is going to be coming up here at 5 p.m. today. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard I'm going to be off of the evening shows today because clearly I could use a little bit of rest. We are going to be talking again about those rain chances that are on the way in for your, in particular, your God, what day of the week is it? Today's Tuesday, and my brain's lost. Wednesday. Y'all, it's nap time for Mr. Lawpon, so I'm going to get to it. Gabe will be here with a working brain, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. We'll see you then.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.